GameStop and AMC, both stocks went extremely parabolic in 2021, and both stocks garnered tons of media attention. Those of us that were trading then, we know what it was like. All of our friends all of a sudden wanted to get into trading. You couldn't go anywhere without even a stranger bringing up trading stocks to you. And while these moves were insane, I mean, GameStop did something along the lines of 1,500% in a couple of weeks. I'm here to tell you that they are not once-in-a-lifetime moves. There are almost always stocks up 300, 400, 500% in the last week. In today's video, we're going to go over how you can find these stocks, how you can take advantage of the next parabolic move, how you can have these stocks appear on a scanner when they start moving so that you have the opportunity to capture the rest of the move. Like the video if you're excited. And let's go. We're going to be building two different scanners today, and the first of which is going to be around volume. As you can tell on the AMC daily chart here, when stocks begin to go parabolic, they are almost always backed up by a large exponential increase in volume as well. Remember, stock prices are nothing but a measure of supply and demand. If demand for a stock is going through the roof as indicated by this volume, you are more likely, of course, not always, more likely to get that parabolic blast off continuation type move. So if I hop over into my scanner here, you will see that I already have just a few simple things set up. Nothing less than $1, $1 million market cap, and 100 shares of volume. That's just to keep a lot of the noise and a lot of the stocks that don't trade and a lot of the kind of crap out of my scanner. I'm going to go ahead and jump in. I'm going to add a study filter. I'm going to go into the pencil, and we are going to look at when the volume, the current volume, is greater than the average volume of the last 14 bars. And we're going to look at a multiple of 3 to start with. So if I go ahead and hit OK and scan, I'll give you insights to what I just did. So I also have my scanner here sorted top down by volume. I almost always, I shouldn't say that, not always, but usually I do sort my scanners like this. I want to see the stocks that are trading the most, right? Especially we're looking at a volume type scanner. So if I go look at ZAP, Z-A-P-P, you will notice maybe that I have my volume average turned on. This is actually 50. Let's make this a 14 as that's what we decided to go with. That is this yellow line if you're going to be able to make that out on the volume here. And you can see that the current average volume of the last 14 bars is 19.8 million. And ZAP so far today, it's not even 2 o'clock when I'm recording this yet, ZAP has already traded almost 65 million shares. So it is over 3 times its normal volume. And it would have been that yesterday as well. Yesterday, the volume average was 15.7 million and the volume traded was 50.3 million. Yesterday, ZAP closed at 403. Today, it has reached a high of almost $8. You're up basically 100% already if you pulled this stock off of the scanner yesterday, which it would have been on. Would it have been on back here? No, not quite. 14.25 is the average, 35.2 is the volume. So it wouldn't have quite been on back here, but already you're seeing, hey, if there's a building, huge kind of average volume like this, and this is really nice too, because you're getting multiple days of it, right? You can look at this scanner and then go look at the stock, right? And see, okay, we have building volume. Okay, this thing is really getting real. Because you can see back here, look how it had like a 1-day volume spike, faded off. 1-day volume spike, faded off. So maybe when you go and let's take a look down at the next stock, Morph. When you go and look at stocks that are on this scanner, probably the best way to go about it is go, hey, Morph is kind of, oh, I see. Morph has a massive gap up today. So here's another one I would avoid when looking for parabolic continuation. It's only on my scanner because it has a massive gap up. Let's go back and look at AMC. That's nothing like what AMC did, right? AMC did not just have a massive gap up and go. No, AMC built over time. It built this kind of A lot of volume growth. You see volume growing. It would have appeared on this scanner on this day with the volume average being 18.5 million and the actual volume being 70.5 million. It would have appeared on this scanner on this day at 265 before the move above 700. So let's take a look down at the next stock on our scanner, IVP. Hopefully we can find another decent example. Okay, IVP is a fun example as well. You got a couple days of building volume here. Yesterday you had 2.25 million average volume with 9.5 million volume traded. So it would have been on the scanner yesterday after a also previous day of heavy volume. And yesterday the stock closed at 149, while today touching 290. So once again, couple days of building volume appeared on the scanner yesterday, got basically a 100% move up from yesterday's close already. Let's take a look at one more on the scanner. If I go down, let's take a look at this green one, ANVS. I should also mention, as I'm clicking through these stocks here, you would normally run this scan at the end of the day, right? As I aforementioned, I'm making this video right now at 1:45 market time, 1:45 p.m. market time. There's still 2 hours and 15 minutes left to go in the trading day, so more stocks will appear on this scanner. But check this out. You got your maybe first day. Okay, let's look. First day, it would have been on the scanner here, and the stock closed at $9.28. But you probably wouldn't just want to go run out and jump and buy it because it was just one day of spiking volume. But then you see, okay, even on the pullback, still pretty heavy volume, very heavy volume compared to what it was trading before. And then you got another big heavy volume green day. Okay, we've now had 3 huge heavy volume green days. It was on the scanner this day with the volume average being 4.6, the actual being 16.2, closed at $11. Today it has gotten up over $17. That is a gain of over 55%. Just look at a couple, and this is just a couple of examples that we're looking at of how utilizing growing volume and multiple days of growing volume can lead to huge parabolic success on the other end. And I just want to emphasize this one more time. I've sort of hinted at it. Does a stock having 3 days of growing volume mean that it's going to go up 55%? No, hell no, of course not. There's going to be times where a stock has, growing volume, and then it goes down from there. But when you're looking at parabolic moves like this, when we're making these sort of parabolic trading scanners and strategies, we are understanding that we may lose. Hell, we may lose a lot. Strategies like this oftentimes can have like a 35% win rate. But when you win, we've already looked at 3 examples, 100%, 100%, 55%. If you capture those victories, if you got into, GameStop when it first started breaking over its, building volume, maybe you would have gotten in here on this day. If you can capture like one move like this, can make up for 50 losers. You understand what I'm saying? So that is the build, more so than even building the scanner, the understanding of how we can use exponentially growing volume to potentially predict parabolic continuation in stocks. Let's jump now to the second way we're going to look for this. We've talked about volume pressure. Now we're going to talk about actual price change. And we're going to quantify this by utilizing the percent change indicator within Thinkorswim. What this indicator is doing, simply whatever the change from the lowest point to the highest point within the last 14 trading days. We are going to build a scanner, I've actually already built it, in which we look at returning any stocks that are up over 50% in the last 14 days. Hey, this stock is moving. We should keep an eye on it for parabolic continuation. It seems obvious, it is obvious, but sometimes, maybe some of you haven't thought about doing something like this. Seeing it in a video like this can help. So on GameStop, it would have gotten up over 50%. You're going to be able to see that number very small right next to my head right here in red. This first day, it's up 61%. And maybe you do just like we did with volume. Maybe you give it a couple of days. Don't just go run and chase the first day it's on the scanner. up over 50%. It's at 61, 94, 76, and then it goes to 87. You've got, a 4-day span here where it is above 50% on the percent change indicator. You can see also, kind of continuing our previous conversation, it has also been building volume in those 4 days. Maybe that gives you an opportunity to get in, and obviously before the giant move. But let's do more than just looking at stocks that what we already know have gone crazy, because of course it's easy to talk about where you would have gotten in on those. So let's jump into our scanner. As you can see, sort of the same, just normal stock filters I always have on. And then I have set up a custom percent change over 50. A lot of the same stocks on here. Zap is on here again. Morph is on here again. Let's go take a look at Zap again, actually, just so you can see what we're talking about. Zap, the current percent change is 221%. It would have broken that 50% change back here on this day when it closed at 246, now breaking up above $8, of course. We know that Morph stock was just a huge gap up, so we're going to skip that one. Once again, as we talked about, even with the volume, both of these, they're going to be different scanners, but they're both kind of, the conversation around them is going to be the same. So if a stock like Morph popped up on this scanner, remember, I will just pull it up. This was just a huge gap, just a huge gap up sort of stock here. I would not look at a stock like this for a continuation. I would just skip and move down to the next one, which on this percent change scanner is ANVS. Broke above 50% change. Oh, actually not until yesterday. So yesterday, this thing closed above 50%. Once again, it's had 3 days of building in price and in volume. Closed yesterday at $11, gotten up above $17 today. EOSE, another one on the percent change scanner. This thing actually would have been above 50% for a while. Would have broken above 50% on this day at 132, where the percent change got to 87 here. And this is nice. You can see, even if you're just looking at this chart here before knowing what's coming next, what do you see? Multiple days of consistent growth, growing volume throughout the move. It's not just a 1-day spike. It's not just a 1-day gap. This thing is consistently growing, breaking above 50%. Maybe you enter. I'm not telling you, of course, as always, to ever go buy a stock off of a scanner I provide to you, but this did pop up on the scanner at 132, has broken up now over $2. A very nice move. If we go look at one more, just sort of wrap up our conversation here, KOSS. This thing would have gotten above 50% on the percent change, of course, on this day here where it had the huge gap up, closed this day at $10, ended up having a high the next day over $18.60. So a very nice move there as well. Although this one, honestly, not as clean. Like I would not have entered this stock. Why? Just a 1-day sort of huge move, right? So I likely would not have been in a trade like this. It just made one move. I would have been waiting for some consistency. And even though you got a really nice kind of day the next day, you can see how that's already dragging back down. So let's actually look at one more. I just want to see if I can find another. Here we go. This one's nice. Another nice consistent grower, SMR. This stock's actually insane. And sort of, I'm going to add one more thing. I've sort of added a lot of nuggets of information about parabolic stocks in general, more so than even just the scanners throughout this video. But hopefully you guys that have watched the entire video have enjoyed that. But I love building scanners like this because have you seen anybody talking about SMR? Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. I'll tell you that I haven't. I've never heard of this stock. And look at, this every day for the last month and a half, this thing has been flying up. In the last 35 trading days, it's up over 118%. There's always stocks going crazy out there, and they're not always GameStop and AMC where everyone and their mother is talking about them. It's important to have scanners like this so that these stocks can be on your radar too, right? So hopefully you all learned something today. Hopefully you all enjoyed building a couple of different ways that we can find parabolic stocks. And more than that, a lot more than just building that, sort of talked about how parabolic stocks work in general, how you can utilize volume and percent change growth in order to find these types of stocks. If you've enjoyed this video, you will enjoy my website, daytradingstrategies.net, where I have over 50 different quantifiable, not only trading scanners, but also strategies, custom watch list columns, etc., etc. And you guys that make it to the end of my videos, I like to give you a little extra bonus. You guys are the ones taking your trading education seriously. You guys are the ones most likely to make it. So I like to give you a little bit of an extra push towards this systematic trading that turned me from a break-even to a profitable trader. So if you use discount code END at checkout right now, you're going to get $10 off your first month. And as always, you can cancel at any time very easily under the My Account tab. So don't feel like you're locked in. Daytradingstrategies.net, link at the top of the description down below. Go check it out and become a better trader today.
Trading stocks. He talks about trading stocks. It's important for you Americans and other international individuals to learn about stocks.